G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, and we are back with more Pathfinder Kingmaker, and as you can see from the title, we're going to do some testing, some bug finding in the turn-based combat in Pathfinder Kingmaker, the Definitive Edition. I said last episode that I was going to do this, and I'm thinking the easiest way to do this is Beneath the Stolen Land. And yeah, we'll leave those settings on, that's fine. And we're going to just leave everything on normal level. Hang on, do I have to... Let's turn off tutorial, even though potentially it's going to ignore that. At least it did the last time I did this ages ago. So, what do I want to test? Well, from our test of the Magus class, it's obvious to me that melee Maguses have a problem in combat because the free action that they get to cast their spell when they do spell strike is getting screwed up in the turn-based combat. And so there are some times when they go to attack, when they go and move an attack in a single round where it doesn't work properly and they don't do their attack. So we're going to have one Magus in our party, and I'll probably throw in an Eldritch Archer as well. But I was thinking what else I wanted to test, because we didn't see any other real problems in the turn-based combat, except for a couple of situations where the characters moved further than the 5-foot step and seemed able to get multiple attacks. So I do want to test that, and the easiest way to test that is probably with a fighter, because fighters will get multiple attacks per round before anybody else. So we might do that. Now, I'm thinking that the main bug, though, is around using free actions. And the only other class I can think of that has anything like a free action that you use in combat a lot is the Kineticist. And so I'm considering making a Kineticist and a Kinetic Knight in the party as well. So I think the front line is going to be a Kinetic Knight, a Magus, and a Fighter. And then the back line is going to be an Eldritch Archer, a Kinetic Knight, and then I'm going to look through the other classes when we come to that point, and we're going to try and decide what else we want to test, what other class we think may have some feature or ability. I'm wondering, and I've never really played with alchemists much, but I'm wondering whether some of the alchemy feats, some of the things that they can do with their alchemy might potentially be bugged. Oh, actually no, the other one that I was really thinking about was rogues, and whether any of their sneak attacks don't work properly. So we might need to test that as well. But it's going to take a little while to test that fully. I'm also curious as to whether all of the teamwork feats really work properly in the turn-based combat. So anyway, let's dive in. Let's see what we can come up with. I may throw like a cleric in, just so we've got someone who can do decent heals, because if we've got a fighter, a Magus, an Eldritch... a Kinetic Knight. Kinetic Knights sort of have a little bit of heal, but not a lot. And then an Eldritch Archer and a... hang on a sec. Yeah, okay, cool. If we throw in some of those, we're not going to have anyone to heal, but we'll see, because if you've seen any of my playthroughs of this before, of the Yeah, we got to... Oh. No, these... Man, I don't even remember any of those characters. Okay. Well, what was I saying? Oh, you don't need a healer in your party. You can get by with potions and scrolls if you really want to. And then just come back out and get the dragon to heal you. Rest up and then get the dragon to use scrolls if none of you can use those scrolls very well. So, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to play the fighter. I'm going to be the main fighter. So what we want to test with the fighter is the whole combat mechanic around once you get multiple attacks per round with your weapon, you're only supposed to get those multiple attacks if you do a full round action, which is an attack, which means you can't move more than the 5-foot step. You can do a 5-foot step and then still do a full round action and get an attack. Now, what I was seeing with the Maguses was that they were getting their normal attack and their spell strike attack after having moved more than 5 feet, and they're not supposed to get that. And so we're going to be able to see that, but I also want to see the other. So I think we are going... Yeah, no, not that one. Let's do this guy, and we're going to go for a half-orc. We'll go the slimmer body. Yeah, we'll give him some hair. Ugh. Yeah, I hate that hair, but maybe that hair. And we'll move on. And let's make him an Aldori Defender. Right, so he's going to be our Aldori Defender. We're going to go Dex, pump that to 18, pump that to 16, and then charisma, maybe? No, let's put it into strength. Who cares? We don't need charisma for this, of course, yeah. So then we will take that. We'll take mobility, and we'll take knowledge world. That's fine. So we'll take weapon focus in our dueling sword. And then we start with... Oh, all armor. Okay. But we can't do... Oh, we need weapon finesse. That's why we can't do the other one. Okay, so we'll do that. None. What's today's date? It is the... Wow, time flies. 21st of August. Of Aridus. Sure, we'll do Aridus as his name. I don't know why. Lawful good. Very good. And they still haven't fixed this bug where it automatically gives you that tutorial even though you say you don't want it. Gotta love that. Right. Let's talk to him. Yeah, just doing all of this. Right, can I rest here? I need companions. Okay, I don't even remember how much money we have. We want a Magus. Let's take... What are we going to do? Actually, let's do a Sword Saint. And to be a little bit different, I've got a portrait in mind. That one. Let's do an Elvish... yeah. Actually, we're not going to do a Sword Saint. We're going to do a straight Magus. No, Eldritch Scion. They're a little bit more flexible, in my opinion. Oh, we really didn't. We didn't make any. Actually, he's got to be a half elf because he's got a beard. I guess we'll pick that and that. It's vaguely like that. Okay. Class, we said Eldritch Scion. Bloodline. Let's do Elemental Fire. And then we want Dex to 18. I'm going to put that back, and we want that to 16, and we'll get the Constitution back to level. This is really a poor... Like, I should be bumping Constitution more than this. Like, I should have the Constitution up. I could drop that, but it's not worth it for 1 extra point per level. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to give you athletics and mobility. We really don't care if we don't have a lot of these other things. It just means some of those what's-her-names won't work. You're going to get weapon finesse. We haven't picked a weapon for you yet. You can't use the Elvish two-handed sword because it's two-handed. The Elvish blade, whatever it's called. Corrosive touch and shocking grasp, of course. None, and we're going to call you... I'm just going to call you Elf. It's very unoriginal, but I want to get into this, and I want to get moving on testing what is going to go on. Yep, you can get added in. How much do I have in the way? No. I have to go. How much coin do I actually have? I've got 40 and 50. Okay. So I've got that, and you've got a rapier. That'll do for the moment. Ultimately, we might go with something else. No, we'll probably actually stick with the rapier for him, now that I think about it. Another companion. So, we want... Oh, I wonder. That's going to be interesting. I'm going a little bit different with all this stuff. It doesn't really matter sort of how... I'm thinking a dwarf. I don't know why, but I'm thinking a dwarf for my kineticist. What I was going to say was it doesn't really matter. Where is this? It's jumping all over the place. God damn it. There we go. It doesn't really matter sort of what race I pick or what have you for the dwarf, for any of these. I'm not going for the best build I can do of a particular thing. I'm actually testing that there are, what bugs there are in the combat. So I thought there was Oh, yeah, maybe that one. So we'll make him our... So you've got longish hair. It's pretty red. That'll do for your beard and body type, actually. Kineticist. Kinetic Knight. Man, I'm going to have to... What do we have to do for this build? It wants Dex and Con. That's right. Okay. Let's take that out of there and go there. There we go. Sure, we don't have anyone with any perception, so that's good. You don't need to use magic device, though. Let's give you Law Religion. I don't know why. Your wisdom isn't even all that great. I can't even remember if the... I think the kinetic blade is finessable, so we'll take that. And he's a dwarf, so we're gonna go earth. Although I should go water, so we get healing focus. No, we'll go earth. Again, I'm just going to be original and go dwarf. Yeah, add you in. 2 more. Well, 3 more if we can afford it, but I don't know that we can. Need another companion. Do I really need to go Eldritch Archer? I don't. I've tested Eldritch Archers before, so maybe... I did say I wanted a thief. So let's do I'm thinking a knife master thief more than anything. Which part of me then immediately says halfling. But I don't think so. Well, actually, let's see. What have we got? I know a whole bunch of these are supposed to be rogues. No, that's all still Magus type stuff. I think the rogue stuff is all later in the list. That's all still fighters. Yeah, that's all still fighters. That's definitely fighters. Yeah, that's still fighters. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was further up. That's all still knights. I was thinking sort of like a half-elf. Ooh, there we go. Half-elven knife master. And all we have to do is do that, and that's perfectly fine. We go rogue, we go knife master, and of course we want max that, and really for a knife, well, yeah, let's go con. Mobility, trickery, stealth, knowledge, world, perception. Fine. Skill focus. We didn't take athletics. Let's take skill focus, mobility. Actually, we should have taken skill focus, trickery, shouldn't we? She's going to be our thief after all. And then we want... Does she already get... She already gets weapon focus. So we want to take 2 weapon fighting. And that'll be interesting to see if that works properly. G'day, is that Delame or is it Diam? It's hard to see whether that's an L or an I. Looks like an L to me. Excuse me. I don't know, knifey will do. Chaotic good, because, you know, no rogues are anything but chaotic good in my book. Add you in. Then, what else? Oh, actually, let's just accept that for a moment. How much money have I got left? I don't have enough to get any more. That's fine. Okay, so you've got your shield. Why do you have that and not a couple of knives? You've got that. You've got that. Okay. The one thing we're going to buy... Oh, no, everybody, come on. The one thing we're going to buy from this smiley idiot down here is another weapon for the knifey girl. Actually, we might keep... Well, I mean... Well, Devourer of Metal, that's nice, but I just want... At the moment, actually, I don't even want Masterwork, because that's going to be a little bit more... Well, I guess Masterwork is fine. Can she... Let's see what she can use. Can she... Masterwork Dagger, that's fine. Can she use a Masterwork Kukri? No, she can't, because it's an exotic weapon. No, it's a martial weapon. That's right. So we're better off just giving her daggers. And is there any difference between... There is. The punch dagger does more crit damage, but crits less often, as opposed to the dagger. I think we're going to be different, and we're going to go... Thanks for the follow. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you like my builds. What I'm doing here is a little bit of testing, because last time I played... my last episode, when I played a little bit of this new definitive edition with its turn-based combat, we found some bugs in the turn-based combat system. Come on, why can't I pick up that crossbow? There we go. So I want to do a little bit of testing around the combat, and this seemed to be the easiest way to do it. So here we go. We're going to dive on in. So let's have a look. We fight defensively, we're probably not going to use, but we'll move that back to there, and I tend to put that there. You have Elemental Bloodline Fire. Okay, and Elemental Ray. That's nice. We're not really going to use them very much. We're going to get Touch of Fatigue there like that. Very good. And then you don't even need that there, but we're going to put these down here. It's actually these gather powers that I want to see if they work properly, which is one of the reasons why I decided to add a kineticist to the build. There's nothing in there. Okay. Ooh. Kobolds. So this is our Magus. So what we found that doesn't work properly with the Magus, if I move to, say, here, we'll see next round what doesn't move. What doesn't work, sorry. Ooh, a little bit of damage there. There shouldn't be any problems with this guy at all. So, yeah, we're getting our single attacks per turn. Very nice. Now, I want to see... Was that... That was a sneak attack. Good. Very nice. The reason we're actually putting a thief in here, or a rogue, is... Yeah, I decided not to start a new playthrough. Well, except for this, of course. But this is really just testing. I continue my existing playthrough with the Definitive Edition, but I just found the Maguses were having problems in combat that they shouldn't be having. And so I wanted to test some more of the combat system to see if there were any other issues. Okay, so this will be good. Now, as far as the game is considered, my elf can attack the kobold soldier. Right? That's what all of that is showing. The green shows that I can move to that spot there. So I can move to there, basically, and then I can do an attack. Now, if I turn on Touch of Fatigue and put my mouse over, it says, sure, I'm going to do the move. So we have, if you look at the 3 sections down here, you're going to see that there is a move action where we're going to move 14 feet, I guess that is. We're going to do a standard action, a Touch of Fatigue, and we get the free action of using the spell Touch of Fatigue. Actually, this is not a good... No, I shouldn't be doing that yet. We're not ready to test this because we need to be 2nd level before we can test spell strikes. So that wouldn't have been a valid test. Silly me. That's okay. We want levels as quickly as possible, which shouldn't be too hard in this. You seem to get a level per level early on in this. So we're just going to blitz through this and try and do as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can. Oh, look, I can actually move and attack in one go. So let's see if this actually works properly. It does. I missed, but it actually did what it was supposed to do. It did what it said on the box, basically. Ooh, cause fear. And damn it, that worked. I'm frightened. Run away. Not good. Okay, so my Dwarvish Kinetic Knight cannot get close enough to attack. I'm going to move him all the way into here, though, and get in this guy's face for next turn. No, I don't have to... Oh, yes, I do have to turn that on. Okay, we've got that turned on now. That blade is turned on. Yeah, I should have charged. You're right, I should have. And let's get knifey. No. What? Okay, so that's weird. What happened there was I right-clicked because I didn't want to do... I right-clicked rather than left-clicked by mistake, and I think it switched to the 5-foot step and moved me just 5 feet, which is a little bit annoying. Okay, Aridus missed. And another cause fear, but we saved against that. I'm going to try and come back in, but the fear is probably just going to make me run away again. Oh no, I got over the fear. Well, that's nice. Okay. Good. Our Dwarven Kinetic Knight. Let's just spin things around so we can see what's going on here. So he is using his earth blade. Boom. And that's worked. What I'm curious... Oh, so no, that's right. You use a move action to do that. Even though it says it's a free action, I'm going to turn that on and see what that does next round. Assuming we last that long, of course. Let's just switch back. Where are we? Knifey. Yeah, you go in and attack. Very good. Ah, now that was interesting. We didn't... yeah, that's a mod that I've got in to do the camera rotation. I don't think that's part of the main game in the Definitive Edition. Okay, we managed to save that fear. Okay, he's dead. End your turn, please. Right. So, I just want to... We didn't do gather power there, despite the fact that we've got it turned on. Now, I know we don't need to gather power, but the fact that it didn't actually do it, and... Okay, so we did use our kinetic blade to attack him. Actually did do damage. I didn't realise that we did damage there. Options... I thought this option was turned on in the turn-based combat. Always display companions' HP, always display enemies' HP. Well, it's not actually doing that. So let's go down to the difficulty section and turn it on in there as well. Always. There we go. That's better. Right. Now, let's make sure Knifey gets 2 attacks, because she's got 2 weapon fighting, and she killed him in the first go, so we can't see. Which is annoying. But anyway, we're done there. Do that. Is that going to be a secret door? Yes, it is. Very good. Oh, and we got hit by a trap. Well, we're still alive, so that's all right. And oh, look at all that lovely stuff that we just got. What was all of that? Falchion, Masterwork Light Mace, Wand of Burning Hands. It's actually probably fairly useful for you. Nothing else that we really want, except for some potions of heal. We might just make you drink a couple of those right now, because you're the most damaged. And technically you can wear that chainmail, but actually I want to have this guy with the least armor on as possible, because his dex is going to do most of the work. And then eventually, once he gets a level, he can take Aldori defending, whatever that thing is. Okay, let's get down here. I think the biggest problem we've got at the moment is our rogue is not in the front line. And that's why we are tripping a few traps. Knifey. How about you come in and attack that one? Thank you. Yeah. Good hit. Very nice. God, these damn Doom Shamans. All they ever want to do is make you fear. And you can't. Why is that not letting me... Okay. It wouldn't let me move... Even though I clicked on him, and I know I can't attack him this round because he's too far away, I can't click on him to move up to him, which is a little bit annoying. So... Who we got here? Knifey. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to see what I want to see there because you are good enough to kill him in one stroke. So, ooh, we missed there. Yeah, you can help over there. Very good. Yeah, I'm going to get you to wait there. Actually, I'm going to get you to walk to there and not attack. Okay, you did attack, but you missed, which is good. I'm going to move the rest of us into position to help, but I just want to see that a standard... Actually, I want to get these guys flanking him so that the rogue... can get a sneak attack in. I want to see A, that he gets sneak attack, or she gets sneak attack, and B, that she gets the multiple attacks that she's supposed to have from knife master, from two weapon fighting. So as a full round attack. There we go. 1, 2. Beautiful. Why did he explode? And those were both sneak attacks. Beautiful. Okay, so that's all. What? I don't know what that click just did. Oh, we rested. That was a campfire. Okay. It wasn't obvious that's what that was. Come over to this one. Another wand. What's that? Wand of light. Oh, God, no. Not going to use that. It's basically junk. Don't know why it would give us that. Okay, no secret doors over that way. Door there, there's a chest just there. Actually, that's good. I want to check the... I thought they were modifying the star knife to make it an actual ranged weapon, but no, they haven't. It's a stupid weapon. What do we got here? Yeah, knew we'd fail that check. And nothing over there, so let's come down to this door. How are we doing for XP? Not a lot, but once we finish this level, we should be alright. Ooh, yeah, I was starting to feel like there had to be some traps in here. Oh, you didn't let me finish. End your turn, end your turn, end your turn. What's this? You're going to come from that direction. Okay. Man, those traps should get them as well as get us. There we go. All I can do is move. I might take the chance, move out of range. Very nice. Except you didn't take my key combination to end the turn properly. Okay, so 5 foot step. And why are you not letting me attack? Is that because I had that turned on? No. I don't get it. Everything is telling me that I should be able to do a 5 foot step and attack. But it won't do it. If I turn off 5 foot step, it still won't do it. It says I'm going to attack as a standard action. If I go and turn on 5 foot step, it'll let me go to there. And then I attack, it works. So someone asked me this on the channel, the YouTube channel, just yesterday or something. I don't personally feel there's any difference. Like, I wouldn't make any builds any different for the turn-based as opposed to real-time. There are some minor advantages to some classes. Like, it's going to be easier to play a lot of the arcane spellcasters, for example. I tend not to play straight up wizards or sorcerers in these games because it becomes really hard to micromanage them in a combat when it's real time with pause, right? Because you have to do a lot of thinking about what spell you want to cast next and who you're going to cast it at, and a lot of the times in real-time combat, particularly if it's like an area of effect spell, fireball being the classic example, if you aim a fireball in real-time with pause, by the time you actually, because even though you say, oh, this character's going to cast fireball to, let's say, technically speaking, Elf here being a magus can cast fireball. So let's just imagine that we're in combat in real-time mode, and I've got the game paused, and let's say that's the fireball spell, and I click on that and I say I want to cast a fireball here because there's a bunch of monsters here. By the time he actually casts that spell, because not only does it take a little bit of game time to cast the spell, part of your round to cast the spell, but depending on where you are technically in the initiative order in the game will also decide how long it's going to be before you can cast that spell. Because you may have just made your action for the turn, right, in real time, and so the game is going to hold that character up and not let them do their action until it's actually their turn in the initiative of the game, right? So by the time you, standing here, cast a fireball at a group of kobolds that are here, they may have all run forward and been able to get up and attack you, and your fireball casts back here and does 0 damage because they're all the way. There's been so much time between when the game was paused and you decided you wanted to do that action and when it was actually that character's turn in the initiative system to actually do anything. And that's the big problem I've always had with any real-time with pause game. So when you go to turn-based, it's a lot easier for some of those like arcane spellcasters and anyone like that who uses, like alchemists with their throwing bombs. You might throw it as an area of effect rather than at a particular character. And even I noticed that when I was doing this, even if you have something like a fireball, which is supposed to be an area of effect spell, and you aimed it at a particular opponent, if that opponent moved, your aim did not change to keep tracking that opponent, and when you actually did fire the spell, it would still fire at the opponent. It would aim at the point on the map where the opponent was when you clicked that spell. So ultimately, I think it's going to be easier to play some of those classes, like your alchemists, like your wizards and sorcerers. It's going to be a lot easier to manage those sorts of characters, and even things like the Inquisitors. Any character where you want to look at this huge range of abilities that that character has, and you want to have the time to say, what do I want to do right now? What's my best option? With turn-based, you've got a lot more time to make those decisions. I mean, it's not like you don't have the time to do them in real time with pause, but it feels like you don't. And so I tend not to play them. But overall, I don't think the game has changed in any way with turn-based. There's no characters which will do more damage in turn-based than they used to in real time. It's just some of them are a little bit easier to manage and play and handle. That's my big take on the difference between real time and turn-based. And I've come to I said this in my stream not last night, the night before, or in my last stream. I've come to the realization that I find the games much more enjoyable when they're turn-based. There are games that are real-time games that I like to play as well. If you've seen my channel, you've seen me play things like 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. But these games are designed originally on the tabletop turn-based games. They modify these games to make them real-time, which changes a lot of stuff and makes them act a little bit weird in some ways. And now they've tried to change them back to being turn-based again, and it makes them even weirder in some ways. And that's why I'm doing this testing, because I've already found that technically the game is a little bit broken in turn-based. My favorite class in the game used to be the various Magus classes. All right? It used to be Magus, Eldritch Scion, Eldritch Archer, and even to a certain degree Sword Saint. And I'm liking Sword Saint more and more in my current playthrough, where I'm doing my Magus playthrough. But with this default turn-based, they are broken. And they don't work properly. And you have to sort of massage things a little bit to get them to work the way they should. I'm actually considering not using this turn-based system and instead going back to the turn-based mod that I was using, because it did things correctly, whereas this is broken. And I said this in my last stream as well, and I would love the developers to hear me say this, but the game wasn't available. The beta version of the game wasn't available to me because I play on Linux. If the beta had have been available, I would have been able to do some testing, and I would have been able to tell them weeks ago that the Magus class was broken in turn-based combat, and they could have had a chance to fix it. Because the way it looks at the moment, the way that the game is called the Definitive Edition, and it no longer tells you a version number of the game, even though technically we know it's version 2.1. The game doesn't have a I knew there was another door somewhere. The game doesn't have a listed version number anywhere in the interface anymore. And so it looks like they're just not going to make any more changes. They consider this game done and dusted. And I don't think they will make even any more bug fixes. So even if they manage to see this video and I can actually report to them and say, here are the bugs that I've found in the turn-based combat, I don't think they're going to do anything about it. And that's a little bit disappointing. We will see. Hopefully they will. Who knows? But, the turn-based combat that they've implemented is a little bit broken. It does things a little bit wrong in some cases. And the Magus seems to be the one that has the most of the problems, but that's why I'm doing some testing to see if I can find problems with other classes. Knifey, you can attack as well. But you missed. What about... No. Our dwarf just can never get anywhere because he's just a little bit slower than everybody else. Right, what are we up to? So I really just want to get through this and level up so that we can start seeing some more things happen. Mostly so I can show the problems with the Magus class. That's effort number 1 that I want to do. Ooh, a Falcata. Very nice. But I can't use it. Well, I can, but it requires more than I'm willing to do to use it. Let's see. That looks like a secret door. But if it is, we failed to detect it properly. And we might as well rest here. There's no reason not to. Yeah, maybe they can fix it. Yeah, you're right. Maybe the community will find a way to fix it. I don't know if the community will find a way to fix it. The fix, like if they can't, if they're not going to do any fixes, or if they can't or whatever, I'm just going to go back and use the turn-based mod that I was using previously, that I have turned off, because it did work. It actually did things correctly. It was a little bit quirky in some ways, but it actually wasn't broken like this one is. It didn't... The things that I've seen broken here are Magus's able to make 2 attacks after moving more than 5 feet, even though they don't yet have 2 attacks per round. So normally the only way that they can do a spell strike attack and a normal weapon attack is if they use a full round attack. But I've seen them multiple times in my last stream where we moved more than 5 foot and attacked and got multiple attacks, which shouldn't have happened. Also, sometimes when moving and attacking, like I just said, sometimes the Magus will move about half the distance to the target and then cast their spell and then do nothing and stand on the spot rather than continuing moving. Now, that was something that I did notice would sometimes happen in the turn-based combat mod that I was using, but it walked half the distance, cast the spell, and kept going and made the attack successfully. But this doesn't. Those were the main problems that I saw. And I figured it was around the fact that we were using the... you're using a free action to cast the spell, and I've got a feeling that there's some sort of little bugs in the way the free action stuff works. And there we are, we've got our level. We're going to head back up before we do that. Okay, now let's do our levels, and then we'll sell up and maybe hire a couple of other guys if we've got the money. I'm not too worried at the moment about adding too many more people to the party, although it would be nice to try and... I want Aldori dueling mastery here so that we get better AC. So we're going to do that straight away. That's just bumped our AC up to 19, which is perfect. We now get our spell strike as a magus, so I can show that bug, which will be good. Shield, I think, is a good option there. I want to do a normal kineticist as well, and see if there's anything buggy with throwing blasts in this. So I'm going to hire another kineticist at the very least. Even if I don't hire anyone else, there'll be a kineticist. Sure, why not? Trip. Give us a chance to test that out and make sure it's working. And our rogue, come on. Sure, we'll do weapon focus on the punch dagger, because that's what we're using. Okay, how much money have we got? Only 700. I think it's going to cost us 2 grand to hire someone else now that we've leveled up. Could have, and probably should have waited. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I feel at the moment the turn-based mod is better than the turn-based definitive edition because it doesn't have these bugs in it. But if they fix the bugs, I'm happy to use the definitive edition turn-based feature. I like some of the display on it, but then I liked the turn-based mod and the way it did some things as well. It was just a matter of getting used to the display. And I think I'm having I'm getting a pretty good sort of feel for the layout and everything now. So sell that. I don't think we're going to have enough to hire somebody else. I should have hired someone else before I leveled up. Let's double check. I'm pretty sure he's going to charge me 2,000 to try and hire another person now, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Let's head back down. At least we can confirm the problem with the Magus spell strike. The Eldritch Archer didn't have a problem. with Spell Strike, from what I could see. I didn't really ever see anything go stupid there. But Magus, Eldritch Scion, and Sword Saint all seem to have problems sometimes when attacking, particularly if they move and attack. If they just stood where they were and they were right in front of their opponent, or if they used a 5-foot step, everything was fine and it worked exactly as it should. It was moving and attacking that was doing weird things. Some mites, hey? What do we got? Oh, it must be a surprise round, and it is. Okay. Let's get our dwarf up this way. And our defender up there. And I want... No, I'm going to keep you there, and I'm going to keep you there. Ooh. What was that? That's a Nixie. Now, so here's a bug. Why? My kinetic knight, the down here, it shows move and standard action attack. I'm clicking on that might and it is not doing anything. So here's another bug. The kineticist is also bugged because of the way the kinetic knight is bugged because of the way his kinetic sword technically sort of is a little bit weird. If I, instead of going there, if I click on that exact spot, I have to go a little bit beside it. Actually, no. Let's change that. Okay, so if it was basically right there. So if I now move to there, I can attack. I'm close enough. But for whatever reason, just by putting my mouse over him and clicking to attack, which should have made me move forward and then attack, it's broken for the kinetic knight and doesn't do it properly. Haven't seen that with any other class except the kinetic knight. So that's something to be aware of. Like, if I say I want to do it for me to go to the Nixie, it'll do it. I can walk right over there and attack. Not a problem. Kinetic Knight wouldn't do that. Okay, this is good. This, no, it's actually not quite what I wanted. I didn't want that Might Earling to get that close. But this will show that this works fine. So he's within range. I can do an attack. It's going to do Touch of Fatigue plus attack, which means I should get 2 attacks here. The first one, a Spell Strike, bang, and then the second one, a normal one, which missed, but he had 2 attacks. That's normal. That's exactly as it should be. Now let's do that. I'm going to move away, and now I'm going to get Knifey to move in. That should hopefully stop the Yearling from coming any closer. And then next round, I'm going to get Elf to move and attack here, and we'll see if it fails or does anything stupid. Actually, maybe not. No, that's actually not quite the way I need that setup to work. I need him to be further away. Okay. So that worked for our Kinetic Knight. Good hit there. I actually want to move over to here. And then I'm taking a chance here because it's quite likely that my Knifey is going to get hit, but it's going to allow me to prove the bug. Okay, so I cannot do a 5-foot step to reach this guy. Right? So see the little red ring around, near the cursor around the touch of fatigue? That shows me that technically I cannot attack him. He's beyond the 5-foot step range. So if I turn 5-foot step off, which it doesn't seem to want to do now. Okay, that's off now. So now there's no red ring around the hand, which means that action is going to be, I'm going to move, and in this case I'm going to move, it doesn't tell me how far I'm going to move, but I'm going to move about 16 feet. And then I'm going to make a... Now this is where it's wrong. This is saying I'm doing a full round action, and so this is going to make 2 attacks. It shouldn't, because I'm moving more. The yellow circle there around my character is the 5-foot step range. And it already told me that I was too far away to do a 5-foot step and then attack. But watch this. Oh, damn it, I misclicked. Okay. We're gonna waste a round and we're gonna do this again. And I'm gonna show you. Because damn it, I misclicked. I can't believe I misclicked. Okay, we're doing this again. So, I'm going further than the 5-foot step. I'm going to attack. I should just be doing a spell strike through my blade, a single attack with Touch of Fatigue. And I should cast Touch of Fatigue at some point, either where I'm standing right now or at some point as I'm moving towards the target. So, casting Touch of Fatigue, attack 1. Why did I get a second attack? I should not have a second attack. That gave me an attack as a full round attack. As if I hadn't moved, or as if I'd only moved a 5-foot step. So that is broken. Should not have been allowed to do that. And that's why I want to get this fighter up high enough so that he gets 2 attacks per round. And I want to see what happens if he is in the same situation. If he from here was to walk to the yearling and make an attack, would he get 2 attacks or 1? He's only supposed to get 1 because you do a move action and then you do an attack action. Unless you move 5 foot or less. That's the rules. And previously I have not seen that break in anything else in the game. I haven't seen, that's why I'm moving the knifey away actually, because I want to see if I can get a full round attack, if it says full round down here when I actually go to attack from a distance. Right? See, this says move action, standard action, attack down there in that bar. So that's correct. That's what should be happening. We're going to probably finish this fight here, but... Now, I was supposed to get the 2 attacks this round because I was close enough that I could do that. That's fine. And technically, you can see the 5-foot step icon is highlighted there next to the full attack. So that's normal, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move a little bit further away and just make sure that the thief doesn't get an extra attack. So I'm just going to skip through until it's the rogue's turn again. And make sure, no, move, standard action, attack. Good, that's as it should be. And we only made 1 swing, we didn't make the 2. So that's all working perfectly. And again, the dwarf cannot do, even though it says move, standard attack, the kinetic knight, I can click to my heart's content until my face turns blue. It's not working. I have to instead click to where I want to move till I'm within range and then do the attack. So yeah, that's two major bugs that I've found, and there's a third bug to do with the kinetic, the mass. I'll try and see if I can actually show it to you. What I want to do is get close to, but not like that's as far as I can. Right there is as far as I can move in one round. If I bring it back to just like there, right? Next round, when I attack, I will be able to reach him and do an attack. But what's going to happen... Okay, so I'm actually going to use a different spell this time. I'm going to use Shocking Grasp here. Now, again, it's broken. It says I'm going to make a full round attack with Shocking Grasp plus an attack, which I'm not. Right? I'm going to move and then do a standard attack. That's what I should be doing. But what this is going to do is about halfway to the might, I'm going to stop. It's going to cast Shocking Grasp, and then it's going to break. Oh no, okay, it did it differently this time. What I have seen is if I move from that distance away, sometimes it will walk halfway to the target, stop, do the spell, and then just go, no, not doing anything, and not continue walking. I don't know why it does it. I don't know exactly when it's going to do it, but I've seen it do it before. I just can't reproduce it at the moment, unfortunately. Is it worthwhile me putting full plate, unidentified full plate, basically full plate plus one, it's got to be. It probably is worthwhile doing that, but I want to wait until I've identified it. Because, and I don't know why we didn't identify it. We should have been able to. None of us have got arcane knowledge arcana. That's why we didn't identify it. Okay. No, none of those walls have secret doors in them. There's a standard door there. There's a secret door right here. But we didn't find it. Okay. And there's another corpse here, which I really have to rest to find, so... Okay, let's head through here. That was the only door. There wasn't another door there, was there? No, and there's no doors in that wall, so it's just good. There is one other situation in which the game seemed to get a little bit confused with the Magus. And I'll point that out in a sec. Gonna leave Knifey there for the moment. What do we got? Okay, let's see if this is going to do the touch of fatigue wrong. If I click, so let's say I decide I wanted to use Shocking Grasp. I click there, but before I decide to click on the giant centipede, I say, you know what, I really want to enchant my weapon. That seems to really screw things up, I've found. Doesn't look like it's actually going to do it this time. It's actually going to work properly. But again, I got two swings there when I shouldn't have, so that's a little bit weird. And once again, I can't attack him directly, but if I move to there, I can get close enough to do it. Whose turn is it? Oh. That's another thing that I found interesting, and that was a problem in the turn-based combat mod as well as here. And I don't know whether it's supposed to be a problem or not, but as an Eldritch Archer, every arrow, if you use Spell Strike with an arrow and you miss, that's it. You wasted that spell. But as a melee magus, so a magus, an Eldritch Scion, or a Sword Saint, if you charge up that spell and you swing and miss, that spell is still there. And it doesn't matter whether it's next round in combat or, 3 days or 3 weeks later in game time, if you haven't used that spell up in the very next round of combat that you do, when you swing that weapon and hit, that spell will fire off. And I don't know whether it really should or not, but that is just a thing that the game does. Again, not complaining too much about it because it's actually something that is technically, it works to my favour as a magus. But I personally feel it shouldn't work that way. I feel that's a bug. So, yeah. We are going to switch to the light crossbow because there is going to be a trap right there. And I'd rather kill this guy from a distance. And frankly, we don't have much that we can do to kill him from a distance. Except maybe we gave you... Oh, well, we've got a magic missile here. Let's use the magic missile first. Did a little bit of damage. Thankfully, he missed. Very good. Very good. No! Okay. That... Space... Oh, I forgot space speeds you up. I thought I was on... Okay. Very carefully. Maybe we're lucky and there isn't a trap there. Ooh. Wand of Resist Cold. Okay. Let's get those. Come on. You're telling me there's no trap right there? Wow. That's amazing. Normally there would be a trap right there, I would have thought. I was willing to put money on it. There should be a secret door right here. But again, we haven't found it. Was there a door that side? There wasn't. So the only door is this way. Okay. More bites. Oh, there is actually, I've got to show the other bug that I found. And that's when starting combat. Yeah. No. You can't click as a kinetic knight on your opponent, even to walk to them. Don't forget that, Tony. Oh, Oh, that's right. You've still got the crossbow out, don't you? Well, yeah. I guess you can use it. Might as well. It's no biggie. Sure. I wish I could get him to go halfway and do the spell, because I don't know why it does it, but I've seen it do it multiple times as a... There's another one? No, there isn't. Okay, that was weird. There we go. And over to this one. So there's a door there. What else we got? Door there. Yeah, let's do this door first. Ooh. We gained experience. Is that all we got? Just XP. Cure moderate wounds. Ooh, yes please. Who can use that? Ugh, none of us. Okay, I definitely need someone who's got use magic device, don't I? Was that the only door? Oh, what's over here? That's got to be a secret door. There was no door there. Okay, cool. Yeah, how about you? There we go. And Wand of Burning Hands. That should be usable by... You already got a Wand of Burning Hands, and that's another one. So we're going to double up on that. Let's give you that heavy shield. I really wish we had that identified, that plate. Is that identified or not? It's not. It's not a good idea, actually. I think there's often penalties for using unidentified items. So we might just leave those for the moment until we get back upstairs, and then done that. Okay. Okay. We haven't joined combat yet. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. Actually, it probably will, because Knifey has a bow. If I click on this guy to basically start combat, it didn't do it. I've had, when I had a group full of Maguses, they would all start to get spells ready before they charged in, and the first one who got a spell off was how combat actually started in some cases. It was really weird. Maybe it was because that guy was coming towards us as well. Let's move you forward and wait right there. I said wait right there, thank you. Oh, we're still in surprise round. Okay, yes. Knifey, I want you to switch back to your blades, please. Just... Why won't you minimize the weapon set? Thank you. And let's move you there. Okay, we're not going to do anything there because there's a trap in front of us. not close enough to do the burning hands. So we do have elemental ray. Boom. One dead. Let's see. Can Knifey get rid of the trap? Yay! Where's the next one? Here he comes. What? I've got to remember, space doesn't work in turn-based combat mode. It doesn't pause you. Instead, it makes you run even faster. So if you misclick, there's got to be an option. I've got to find it. I've got to work out what it is, because I didn't want to do that at all. What's going on? Why can I not loot that body? Oh, who cares? Okay, that's the end of this level. Don't want to go down yet. Oh, look, another trap. Yeah, G or H might do it. You're right. Okay. There was a door here somewhere that we didn't take. Wasn't there? No? Where is it? I'm positive there was a... Yeah, here. Excuse me. It's not that I'm not impressed. It's that it obviously hasn't been tested thoroughly. Like, either, as I've said before, I have played this game a lot. I have tried to play this game when the beta version of the turn-based system came out, but they didn't release it for Linux, and I'm a Linux gamer. I don't even own a computer with Windows on it, so there was no way for me to test it. If I had been able to test it, I would have been able to give them this feedback that this stuff was broken, and they might have been able to fix it. But it's unclear as to whether they're going to make any further changes to the game, because this is now considered the definitive edition, as if it is complete and there is not going to be any more updates. Except maybe they might add some more content, I don't know, but that's my concern. If they fix the bugs, I like this system that they've got well enough, but it's broken. And if they're not going to fix it, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to use it. I'll use... Well, I don't know if the bugs that I'm finding are only on Linux. I would find it very hard to think that these are Linux-only bugs, because the game doesn't work like that. The game is using a standard engine. It's not like they code one thing and say, if it's Linux, do this, if it's Windows, do that, if it's Mac, do that, because you remember it's available on all three platforms. They just build the game. The game engine is designed to be able to run on any of them. It's usually only things around like file handling and stuff like that that are actually different between the three systems. The game engine that they build it on handles all of the differences between how like graphics is drawn on one system as opposed to another, and all of those sorts of things. Yes, turn-based was included very late. And I've mentioned this before. I think I'm very much a turn-based player now. I've come to the realization that these games should not ever be made as real-time with pause. The game engines that they are built on, D&D or Pathfinder, depending on the games, is a turn-based game. And to turn that into a real-time with pause, they actually have to do some fudgery and stuff that actually makes it interesting. I was saying before, one of the things that's changed with the turn-based mod is that it's easier to play a spellcaster. Because, for example, if I wanted to cast a fireball at that stone thrower right there with a sorcerer or a wizard or what have you, in real time with pause, when I click the button to say cast fireball and cast it there, that doesn't immediately cast fireball from that character. What it does, once I unpause the game, or even if I did that while the game was still running, it still waits until it is that player, that character's turn in the initiative for it to do that action. In the meantime, that opponent might have moved. So a lot of those spells that are not that are area of effect spells, and they're not aimed at a opponent, they're aimed at an area of the screen, they were useless and always have been in any of these real-time with pause games. You had to guess where the opponents were going to be when that spell actually went off, and hope that you led the target correctly so that it landed in the right spot. But when you play turn-based, you don't have that problem, because it's your turn. You cast that spell, you say, I want to cast that spell right there, or even if I don't want to cast it right there, if I wanted to cast it here so that it potentially got both of them, I can pick that spot, the spell goes immediately, it goes off, and it works. And that's the problem with any game that they make real-time with pause that is based on an original turn-based system. And then, as I said earlier in the stream, they have to take the turn-based system, they have to stretch it and squeeze it and whatever. Exactly, Hartley. That was the same thing with Pillars of... Like, there's so many games like this. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Pillars of Eternity. Pathfinder Kingmaker. Pillars of Eternity 2. Or Pillars of Eternity Deadfire. They all have this problem. They're all real-time with pause, trying to actually emulate a turn-based system, and then if they try and put turn-based on top of it again, they take a turn-based system, they squeeze and stretch it to make it real-time, and then they can't, if they're going to put on top of that a turn-based system, they can't just unsqueeze and stretch it. They have to squeeze and stretch it further to make it turn-based again, and it just doesn't mesh very well at all. That's why there's two games I'm really looking forward to, and I think in my next stream, I'm actually going to play one of them. And that is Solar Crown of the Magister. I've got the demo for that. I really enjoyed that demo, and it is a turn-based, D&D-based game. So it has turn-based combat in it. It has real-time movement when you move between interactions, but as soon as you go into combat, it's turn-based, it's grid-based, it's beautiful. And Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be the same. The only problem with Baldur's Gate 3 is it's only being released for Windows. Now, I will still be able to try it on Linux, but the problem I'm going to have there is I'm going to be paying full price for it, and then if the thing that Steam has that allows me to play Windows games on Linux doesn't work quite well for that, I'm going to waste my money. I had that problem, incidentally, with the Solar Crown of the Magister demo. For the longest time, that demo didn't work for me. And then they did another release of the demo a couple of months ago, an updated release of it, and it did work for me, and I was really happy. I haven't played the Divinity games, but I don't know. I've wanted to, but again, I realise that they are real time with pause as well, aren't they? I don't think they're turn-based, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to enjoy them if that is the case. Have I already... No, I haven't done an action with this guy yet. I have wanted to play it. I've been waiting for it to come out, either of those games to come out. Oh, Divinity is turn-based. Brilliant. I will love it then. I have been waiting for them to come out on special on Steam to buy them. And I really want to try the original one first, even though everyone says Original Sin 2 is way better than the first one. I want to try the first one first. But at the moment, the two games that I'm really looking out for, Solar Star, Crown of the Magister, and Baldur's Gate 3. Assuming I can play Baldur's Gate 3. Let's get on with this fight. Good. One less. And didn't end his round like I wanted it to. Let's try this spell for something different just to see. No, he's going to cast it properly this time. That's okay. Okay. What else we got? We got a test here. Ooh, a Dwarven Urgosh. Well, la-dee-da. Collect all. And no secret doors around here. Oh, there's one. Oh, come on. Anyone can see that's a secret door. Why will you not find it? Is there anything else here? Was there anything along this wall? There was the secret door here that I didn't find earlier. But I think we've done everything else in this dungeon, so we might have to come in here and leave in a second. Is there a ping? Nope. There goes our next levels. Let's head back up. I'm not going to take those levels yet because I want to hire at least one, if not two more guys. Not that I'm having any problem with the fights at the moment with only 4 of us, but I do still want to test some more. Yeah, I want a normal kineticist. And I'm not sure what else I want to test. So, are you going to tell me what that is? That's full plate +1, so we're not going to sell that. Actually, let's just do that. Oh, that was a Dwarven Urgosh +1. That's a heavy shield +1. Yeah, not interested in those. Not interested in that. Let's keep that. Oh, actually, let's keep one of those. And let's sell... They're both the same. Let's sell one of those. Let's get rid of that. Keep that. Have you got anything to sell? You, what do you got? Reduce person. Don't know why you'd want that. Right. We want to give you that shield. There we go. And we want to give me that plate. There we go. And then we want you. Oh, why can you? Oh, because you're a Eldritch Scion, you can't learn spells that way. So I should sell both of those. Right. Silly me. Sell, 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 sell. Deal. Yeah, we're doing all right. We could get some better armor for some of the other guys, but we'll wait until we find it. Let's hire. How much money have I got? I've got just enough to hire 2 more people. Kineticist, and haven't decided yet. Who else would be interesting to test? Who do I want to use as a kineticist? Okay, that's all the archers. Yep, still more archers. And more archers, rangers, whatever. Okay, still sort of rangers with their animal companions. Sort of maguses, I guess. No. If she didn't have the sword in my hand, it'd be perfect. G'day, St. Salvius. No, I'm doing bug testing. I'm looking at the turn-based combat and testing the bugs. So if you remember from the last stream, we had a bug. We sort of had a couple of different bugs with the maguses, whereby they would move more than 5 feet in a turn, but they would still get 2 attacks, which they're not supposed to. So I'm confirming that that bug still exists. I've found I got a kinetic knight, and I found there's a bug with the kinetic knight. When I click on an opponent who is within range for me to move and then attack, I can click until the cows come home and it doesn't actually do the action. And I'm starting. I've checked to see if there's any sort of issues with, and I'm going to check with a fighter. I want to be sure that when the fighter gets multiple attacks per round, he doesn't have any issues like the Magus is, where he can do a move action and still do a full attack, which he's not supposed to be able to do. He's supposed to only have 1 attack, not many, after he moves. So I've got a fighter in the group so I can test that. I have a rogue in the group because I wanted to test whether sneak attack and stuff like that was working, and it is. I'm putting a normal kineticist in the group now. I'm trying to excuse me, trying to find an appropriate portrait for that. And I'm not sure the last character I want to test, but I've just been trying to think of all of the little things that could, the edge cases that could go wrong with the game, so that I have something that I can test. Actually, I think I know where there's going to be good portraits for wizard. Yeah, some of the... That... No, that's my kineticist. There we go. Half-orc female kineticist. That's what I want. That's a very... It's a very mohawky hairstyle, isn't it? Is there a mohawk? Is that little one? But she's shaved on the sides. We might have to go with the little one, which isn't really as flowing down the back as I would like, but there we go. That's perfect. Okay, kineticist. Straight kineticist. And we're going to go Dex to 18. The rest in Con. We are going to pick... I shouldn't really pick Knowledge Arcana for her at all. Yeah, we need more... Oh, we don't have anyone with use magical device, so we're going to do that as well. And let's do mobility. Why not? Point blank shot and fire and burning infusion. Flamey will do. I don't know. It's not really a proper playthrough. It's just for testing purposes. Right. I'm going to give her her second level. Bump, bump, bump. There we go. And Fire's Fury. Yeah, we'll do Heat Adaptation. So I wanna confirm whether... So what I want to confirm with the normal kineticist as well is that the gather power stuff works as expected. So that's another thing that I need to have a look at with that. I'm thinking the last... I really don't know what to take for the last character. I'm just picking any portrait for the moment. Like the only other thing, because I think it's edge cases, stuff that people might not have played, but really skills that are very sort of weird. I get the feeling that maybe alchemists might be an interesting one to test, but I'm really not all that into playing the alchemist class. It seems just, I don't know, I just don't like it. I got a feeling there might be some stuff in the Inquisitor as well that's not going to work properly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some monk stuff that doesn't work quite right. But I sort of feel like I want to just throw in either a sorcerer or a cleric. And I don't like playing clerics at the best of times, but I feel like this group needs a healer. I'm going to put a sorcerer in just to see. No, there's no real need. There's not going to be anything in Ranger. No, there's not going to be anything in Ranger really that's going to be all that different that's not going to work. Nor Paladins. Maybe I'll make a Sacred Huntsmaster, just to say that I've done the Inquisitor thing, because they... Yeah, longbow, shortbow, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's do that. They get an animal companion too, don't they? I don't want to play... I don't want that portrait. I don't have a problem... No. Oh, God. What is that? Problem is I've got so many portraits. There we go. I don't really necessarily want to play another orc, but... Another half-orc, I mean. But a half-orc huntress. Can't do that, we just did that one. There's that one. That very androgynous, that one. It's always hard for me to tell whether that's supposed to be a male or a female. Let's do that one. I don't know. No, we are female there. Hairstyle. Can't even see what the hair's going to look like now because he's got the hat on. That'll do. He said Sacred Huntsmaster, hey? Yeah, let's give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? A Rastal... Oh, hang on. Is there one that gives me... So there's light crossbow. Is there anyone that gives heavy crossbow? A Rastal gives long bow. No. Well, we do have crossbow up here on the top one, so let's take light crossbow. And then we're taking... What have we got? Earth Domain, Law, Nobility, Protection. Let's do... I don't know. Protection and... Oh, let's do Protection. And then we need to pick an animal companion. Leopard, I think. So we are going to do 18 and 16. Wow. You can take that and that and that and that and no, I don't know that. Point blank shot. Thank you very much. And we want cure light wounds and divine favor, I think. I don't know. She's going to be lawful good. There we go. And we'll take bless. Right, we can level up these guys now. Well, DSX, well, thank you for that. I was going to say, if you want to know how to play the game, have a look at some of my videos. They at least give you ideas for builds. Well, it's because I've played these sorts of games for a long time, including, it's been a long time since I played the tabletop D&D, but I used to play that in my youth. It's probably been 30 years since I've played that. Don't think I'm going to take Piranha Strike. I could take Armor Focus to get better protection out of my armor, but I thought I got Armor Focus for free somewhere. It's a bonus combat feat there. We get Weapon Training. No, actually, I don't think I do get. Let's take the Heavy Armor Focus. I got good armor now, and I get Defensive Parry as well. Okay, our Magus. Go. Yeah, you can get Weapon Focus with Rapier. Why not? I was going to give you something else, but Rapier's fine. Where is it? There we go. And you can take Wand Wielder. Vanish. You've actually got dex damage. We need to fix that at some point. Okay, our Kinetic Knight. Weapon Focus. On your Kinetic Blast. I think that does it. There's no... Yeah. Pretty sure that's right. We'll see in a sec, I guess. No, I won't see it there. But if I go here... Yes, Weapon Focus, Kinetic Blast. Very good. I did that right. Okay, our Rogue. Well, Knife Mistress. Do we want Piranha Strike? No, I don't think we do. What I want is... No. Yep, Precise Strike. And then we want Finesse Training in Punching Dagger. Very good. And that's it. We're all leveled up. We didn't have much in the way of money left, did we? You can have a crossbow, and we will sell all of that for now. And we'll give you the Cure Moderate Wounds, because you're basically going to be our healer now. And you don't need anything except some better armor at some point. Let's also rest here, because I haven't done that yet. Okay, all good. Let's come down here. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any problems with the animal companions as well, because I haven't tested that yet either. I'm not expecting there to be, but I wasn't expecting there to be problems with other classes either, and there was. So okay, that'll do for now. Let's Let's go back on down. We want to see if we've got any problems with the kineticist and the Inquisitor. Right. Secret door there. But we didn't find it. Okay. I should say potential secret door there. It's not guaranteed. Beat me to it. Okay. So, we have Fire Blast. What's that? Burning Infusion. I want that turned off for the moment. Actually, no. I want that on. Because I want to use up Burn. Let's put that over there. So let's actually turn that on. So this says I need to move to make this attack. Okay. And we missed. Oh, there we go. So there's our burn. So what I'm going to do with this character is turn on Gather Power and see if that actually does anything. So for those people who just joined us, there's a bug in the Kinetic Knight, which we'll be able to show you maybe next turn. Maybe not, actually. I can probably still do it next turn. Now, what do you have as far as... Oh, that's right. Do you have any... I should have picked a straight Inquisitor, not this guy, because I probably don't get a lot of the Inquisitor things this early. Just stick with the crossbow for now. Okay, Animal Companion so far works okay. Okay, so this is interesting. This is technically saying that I can attack this guy. I can move. But it's... I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's letting me move to my full extent. Ah, but when I click, it's not doing anything. So the best I can do is move to there. And then maybe move again. But it's not actually letting me move. It says I still have the ability to move 16 spaces. But for some reason, it's not letting me move. There's something weird about this bit of corridor here that's not letting me move. Okay, St. Salvius, have a good one. Who's this? This is our knife mistress. I'll move her up. We're not in... No, see, we're not in surprise round, so there's no reason why we can't move further. I can get her to move this way now, but previously it wasn't going to let her move the full distance. Something weird about that corridor. Like, I can't move. See how I can't go... Because if I go back this way, it'll let me go green and yellow all the way out to there. But in here it won't. If I move to there and then stop, it'll then let me move for my second turn. Or the second part of my turn. It'll let me finish the first part and then move for my second move. Very weird. Actually, that's another thing. I don't know if you noticed, but when he then just attacked Elf, but he was facing down this way, the game doesn't update the orientation of these guys all the time when they're attacking. If they're facing the wrong way, sometimes the attack still happens. You can see them even swinging their weapon, doing whatever. And it's all a little bit weird. So let's see if this gather power works properly. It says it's going to. So yes, we gathered power and we attacked. Very nice. And it's still going to let me to make a 5-foot step move if I want to, which technically I think is part of the rules, so that's okay. So if I try and move here to attack this kobold soldier, it's within my character's ability to move that distance. The dwarf, he's a kinetic knight. He should be able to, it says there at the bottom, he can move 10 spaces and then make a standard attack. I'm clicking, and he's not doing anything. The way I have to do it is say that I want to move to somewhere first, which isn't on the opponent, so I'm going to have to change my camera angle. If you don't have the mod to do that, you're going to be screwed in some situations. And now I'm close enough that I can then attack. So that's the big bug with the kinetic knight. Yeah, I'm not expecting there to be any issues with this guy yet until he gets some of his special features that Inquisitors have. And then it will be interesting to see if there's a bug. Where's the... oh, the third one's all the way down there. Wow, okay. Door there. Ring of protection, very nice. Let's give that to you, maybe. Feels like that should be a secret door too, but it's not showing up as one. Okay, let's see if we can get this little bug with combat to work. If I click on these guys to say I want to attack, if they're not aware of me yet, see how far we managed to move before the combat actually worked? And you'll notice that Elf actually started to get his spell ready, as if he was just about to attack. So there's a bug. If you click on an enemy and they're not ready, like we've got surprise here because we managed to get them before they were ready. I've actually had archers shoot arrows that hit and killed one of the opponents before combat started. And that never happened with the turn-based combat mod. So that's another bug. Wow, she did gather power whether I wanted it to or not, so she's got nothing she can do. 5-foot step is it. What about you? Can you charge? You can. Wonderful. And you can charge. Beautiful. Ooh, what do we got there? Resolute. I do have charge. Well, why is that not down there? Because I want to use that. But I can't. Because I'm a dwarf. See? That little... That was the spell that he was starting to gather power for, failing. I'm going to turn gather power off because we don't actually need it, particularly if we're not using flame infusion or whatever it is. Do you have... You do have charge as well. Why don't I put that in there so that you can do that? There we go. Finish the combat off quickly as possible. Doesn't seem to... Sometimes it seems to take a little bit before it decides that the round of combat... The combat is over too, once everyone's dead. It's a little bit weird. Yeah, it is, Hartley. It is very interesting that the maker of the mod did a better job than the company at implementing turn-based combat. Because none of these... Like, the only quirky things that I had seen in the turn-based combat mod, which seemed weird and stuff like that, was that sometimes when you charged, particularly animal companions, when they charged, they would get a full round attack rather than just a single attack. So I've had, like, the panther charge in and do, like, you know, multiple swipes and a bite when they did a charge, which I didn't think you were allowed to do. I thought a charge was just run and make a standard attack. But that's really, that with turn-based combat mod, that's really the only little buggy thing that I've seen. Oh, and sometimes that they don't path properly when you tell someone to walk from one place to another. But that's it. But that's not even a bug with the turn-based combat mod. That's just a bug with the whole fact that it's a real-time game that's using like an infinite coordinate system rather than a grid. And the start of combat in the mod is always beautifully crisp. If I click on an opponent to attack them and they're not ready, bang, it just immediately slips into combat, game pauses, and I can play. But this, if I click on them, as I've said, I've literally had an arrow shoot and kill someone, and then it goes, oh, combat starts. You're in surprise round or round one or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell? Ooh, that's nice. Actually, it's not going to be that useful because we've all got armor on. If I had a sword saint, we would use that. But it's only really usable by them. Someone who's not wearing armor. Right, battle ready. That started great. That's fine. I don't have a problem with the way that battle started just then. Quite a group. Damn it. Leo can't charge at any of them. How close can he get? Get all the way up in their face. That's fine. Beautiful. And it was a sneak attack too, which it's supposed to be. Let's try and finish off that shaman. Boom. Got him. Very nice. Again, see? 2 attacks. He shouldn't have had 2 attacks. He should have been able to run in and do the single attack only, the touch of fatigue attack, and nothing else. No, you're not going to get anywhere. Well, the interesting thing there, DSX, is that, and I said this before, I don't know if you were in the channel when I said it, but they released the beta version and invited people to play the beta. So I want to know how it is they didn't find these problems when they played the beta. I didn't get to play the beta because I play on Linux, and the beta wasn't available for Linux. It was only available for Windows. I saw people who play on Mac also complaining that they didn't get access to the beta. If I had have had access to it, I would have been testing this stuff. That's what I would have done. Partly because I'm a developer myself, so I like to test those sorts of things. But I would have had a chance to do this, and I would have reported back to them and said, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. Because they did multiple releases as part of the beta. They had, I think, a couple of months of while it was in beta, and they did about 4 or 5 different releases during that time where they were obviously fixing things. So I don't understand how nobody picked up any of these things. You can't tell me that nobody played a Magus, nobody played a Kinetic Knight, right? Nobody, what was the other problem I had? Nobody clicked on an enemy and noticed that it was attacking, had an archer in their group or a spellcaster who had a default spell set up, and noticed that that thing was going off before combat even started. Or maybe they took a stance and said, well, these are the things we're going to fix and these are the things that we aren't. I don't know. But here's the thing, Hartley. This is considered the definitive edition. If you go back out to the main menu, there's no longer a version number on it. It used to say 2.0.8, for example. It no longer says it. I can't find anywhere in the game that it says that this is version 2.1.0 or whatever they're going to call it. So that makes me think that they're not going to release any more bug fixes for this. So what are we going to do? There are bugs in the turn-based combat system, and I'll be very interested to see what happens. I'm this close to tweeting that I've found X number of bugs in the turn-based combat system and see if they come back to me. Because Owlcat Games have liked some of my tweets previously where I've said I'm playing this game on stream, letting people know, and they've liked that. They haven't actually replied to it to me, but they've done a like to it, and I've seen that in my timeline. So I don't know. I'm not the sort of person that likes to show me the manager type thing and say this thing's not working, but it's broken, and I didn't have a chance to test it for them in the beta and tell them what was broken. So I'm probably going to send just put it out on Twitter and say, look, I've found at least 3 bugs in the turn-based combat mod. Don't play a Magus. Don't play a melee Magus, and don't play a kinetic knight, because they're broken and they will do stupid things. Anyway, I'm going to definitely finish this level, so let's kick on. We've done that. Let's where are we up to? Yeah, we don't have too much more to go to finish this. Who have we got here? Our kineticist. Ooh, 0 damage reduced. That's not good. An alchemist. See, it's things like that mutagen that I wonder whether they do weird things in the turn-based or not. I don't know. Maybe I understand the rules incorrectly for the Magus. But being able to make this second attack, let's actually just read it. Let's just see what it says. At first level, a Magus learns to cast spells and wield his weapons at the same time. This functions much like two-weapon fighting, but the offhand weapon is a spell that is being cast. To use this ability, the Magus must have one hand free while wielding a light or one-handed melee weapon in the other. As a full round action, he can make all of his attacks with his melee weapon at a -2 penalty, and can also cast any spell from the Magus spell list with a casting time of 1 standard action. Any attack roll made as part of the spell also takes this penalty. So that says that only if you make a full round action can you attack and use your spell as well. And then Spell Strike. At second level, when a Magus casts a spell with a range of touch, he can deliver the spell through any weapon he is wielding as part of a melee attack. Instead of the free melee touch attack normally allowed to deliver the spell, a Magus can make one free melee attack with his weapon at his highest base attack as part of casting this spell. If successful, this melee attack does its normal damage as well as the effect of the spell. If the Magus makes this attack in concert with spell combat, which was the previous ability, this melee attack takes all the penalties accrued by spell combat melee attacks. This attack uses the weapon's critical range blah, blah, blah. What that says to me is that, yes, I get a free attack, but it's used as part of spell combat, which was the other one that we read, which requires me to have a full round action to be able to cast the spell and attack, to make a normal attack with my weapon as well. So I believe that being able to do this is wrong. I should not be able to move this far and do 2 attacks like that. Because the first attack was the spell combat, where it fired off my the spell that I cast, and yes, I should be able to do that, but only if I have a full round action, and I didn't, because I had to move to get it. And even though it said there full round, it's not taking into account that I had to move, and I had to move further than the 5-foot step that I'm allowed. Like, I was further away than that. I was all the way back here. I should only have been allowed to move 5 foot and then make that double attack. So that is definitely broken. I don't care what your interpretation of the rules is. That shouldn't be allowed. Anywho, let's move you up there. There's another. Where's the other? Why did that... That's annoying. That's really annoying. It stops me in my tracks from where I said I wanted to move just because I detected something in combat. If it was a trap, sure, but all I did was detect a bloody chest. Oh, there's the second kobold. Why don't I move closer to him so that maybe I can attack him next round? There we go. And you can charge... You can't charge, so instead you'll just run in and attack. Single attack, kills him. Very nice. Can you charge to him? You cannot. So go up there and stand next to the other guy. Oops, I did that again. It's not what I wanted. Okay. Ooh, that's fine. Don't know why you did that, but I'm not going to complain. I feel like that should be a secret. It's hard to tell when it's got that wavery effect on it. Any more doors in this one? No. Have we missed doors anywhere? We must have, because we don't have an exit. Was there a door along this wall? There was not. There was no door there. There's the other door. Did you hear that? We actually had a shot. Someone fired an arrow. Well, not someone. Hannah fired an arrow. Like, Alpha's got his spell cast ready to go. I think Flamey is halfway through gathering her kinetic blast. It doesn't switch straight away into combat like it should. We are in the surprise round, which means I should have charged. You're not going to be... Oh, 5-foot step, you are going to be able to attack. Beautiful. Where else? Down here. Can you charge? You can. It's a sentinel. Sentinel. Very good. Again, there was that little ka-chunk as the spell that he was gathering dissipated. Let's just move you up. Oh, I should have fired. I thought it was the dwarf that was going next. Once again, I've got to click away from the target for the kinetic knight to get in. Let's just use that to heal up. There's our levels. I want to just check. I don't think we're high enough level yet for the fighter to get his second attack. I think it's like level 5 or 6. Yeah, I need to get... Oh, maybe. Let's see. Go Dex. Go weapon specialization in the dueling sword. Yeah, my base attack bonus is still just 4. Okay, gonna head back up. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I think I will just post a fairly discreet little message on Twitter saying that I found a few significant bugs in the turn-based version of the turn-based combat in the definitive edition, and see if they come back to me about what they're going to do about them. I probably will do some more playthrough of this because I want to make sure that once I get multiple attacks per round with the fighter, that still works properly. But my next stream, which I'm hoping to be tomorrow, because tomorrow is Saturday for me, I really do think I want to stream, at least for some of it, for the early part of it, I'm going to stream Solar Crown of the Magister demo and just show off that, because I love it. It looks really nice. I really don't know anything about the game in the long run. I don't know whether you're going to be able to choose what characters you play, because you can't choose your characters in the demo. You get given a party of 4 and that's it. I don't know really much about what the game is going to be like at all in the final version of it, but it's turn-based, it's based on D&D 5th edition, it's got some really neat little features in it. I really like the look of it. I think it looks nice, it plays well. I think it's going to be one of my favourite games that comes out, if it comes out this year. But we'll see once it's finally there. Well, I might actually play it, get into it a little bit and go, oh, this is terrible. Because you know what I'm like with some of my games. I like them to have a nice flowing story and not big gaps where you get to run around and do your own thing for ages on end before you have to get dragged back into the story or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining me for this chance to go through and really test the definitive edition turn-based combat and confirm the problems. A little disappointed that we found a new one with the Kinetic Knight, so don't play a Kinetic Knight, or if you do, be aware that you really need to move separately to attack. It does not work properly if you just click on your opponent. It will not do anything. If you're playing if you want to play a character that is suddenly cheaty and OP, play a Magus, either a Magus, Eldritch Scion, or Sword Saint, because you get to attack the way you shouldn't be able to attack. If you want to get an early attack on your opponents, try and click on them to attack before they notice you, and you will often get off an attack before combat starts. And there is a bug which I have been able to show tonight, was on my stream yesterday or the day before, where we were casting spells as Maguses to use in our spell attacks, in our spell combat, and it was moving to go to the opponent. You get halfway there and the animation would run the process to cast the spell, and then it would stop movement and would not attack and would not do anything. And if you were lucky enough to be right next to an opponent, you could click on them and attack, but it would basically break. So those are things to be aware of. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I will see you all for the next stream. Thanks a lot.